I'm here with Sandy and Josh to talk about Street, the debut record, The Path to the Righteousness, out September 29th. So you guys must be on the edge of your seats right now, counting the days, counting the minutes, the seconds, the hours for this much anticipated release. How are you guys doing?
Counting the nanoseconds, mate. To be honest with you, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it still feels so far away, where it's been such a long process for us. But yeah, I'm really excited, and the feedback that we had from the singles that we have dropped already has been great. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So before we talk about the album, let's talk a little bit about the band. For those watching that haven't heard of you guys or haven't listened to the singles, give us a little bit of the background on how it all got started. Who called who? Whose idea it was? How did the band got their legs going?
It actually started as like a uni project, really. We were all the members that originally started in the band all lived together and were on the same course, which was like a music production course. And one of our assignments that we had from uni was to record a 3-track EP. And luckily, the band that we had lined up to record actually dropped out the night before. Um, and we were all like, fuck, if we don't do this recording, like we're going to fail. So what do we do? Luckily, we all played in bands anyway. And me and Sully were playing GTA San Andreas and actually came up with the idea of just doing like a concept hardcore band for this project. And yeah, we did the assignment and just put it online, not really expecting anything. You know, it was just I think Sully just chucked it up on his SoundCloud account for like a whim, just to put it up there. And people liked it, and all of a sudden there was like interest for us to start playing a show or shows. And yeah, it just snowballed from there. Really, it was a joke that got out of hand. Really, to be honest with you.
I want to piggyback off of something you said there, which is playing GTA San Andreas. I'm
Mm,
assuming the name of the band comes from playing the game, but I also know
sure.
that there was some issues with the name of the band and the guys at Rockstar Games. So can you give us a little bit of the history behind that? How did it all played out?
I can't. We can't really go into too much detail about it. But they were pretty cool with it. To be fair, we actually changed the name as we were kind of approaching this release cycle, because the songs are a lot more on like a serious level. We felt the need to kind of signify some sort of change. So by dropping the families, we felt that kind of did that, and it was a step away from the old, GTA vibe that we had when we were just a concept band, just kind of fucking about.
Would it be cool for you guys to one day be part of the GTA soundtrack? So when you're driving around and somebody tunes into the radio, one of your track pops in.
Definitely, that would be the dream right there. That'd definitely be a big milestone for us. I think I'd be able to quit music after that, to be honest.
What about you, Josh? Would you quit music as well after that if that happened to you?
Yeah, I'll probably quit music as well, I reckon. I think I could probably retire after that. Be like, yeah, that looks good on the old CV. That's me done.
What both of you have as far as expectations for this debut album? When you look ahead already and you think of the release date, what are your expectations for it?
Good question. As in, what would I like to gain from the record? What would I like to do next?
Yeah, what would you like the record to do for you? What kind of doors would you like the record to open? What you would like the reception from the fans to be? Um, that kind of stuff. What you're looking forward the most that this album can perhaps provide it to you?
Yeah, I guess it's the same. I think the goal for me has always been the same. It's one, play some more festivals, play some more major festivals next year. I'd like to do some more support tours, and get in with some more bands and just make some more connections and make some more friends and bits and pieces like that. I'd like people just enjoy the record, just enjoy it for like I think the main takeaway for me that I want people to have is people to just have fun, just enjoy it. I want people to be like, this is a fun record. I want to go see these guys live, and then we continue that, and then people would just be like, this is a fun band, like bands like Drain and Turnstile, and people like I want to ride that wave. I think for me.
Yeah, I agree with what Josh is saying. I think every time that we put a record out, it's you know, we've always wanted it to level up, you know, all the opportunities that we've had before. A big one for me is I'd love to come out to America. I've never been out there before, so hopefully the record can do that for us. That's one of the reasons I'm in the band anyway, just to see the world for free and to make friends along the way, you know. So yeah.
It's not free, my friend. There's always a price you got to pay. There's always a price to pay. But I see what you're saying, and that takes me to my next question to you guys: is that you have that dream of coming to America, tour over here. When you look at your sound, are you heavily influenced by North American hardcore crossover bands, or is there bands in your own neck of the woods that you feel have had an impact in shaping the sound of the band?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
me personally, I'm massively influenced by Municipal Waste. That's like my favorite band of all time. But there's some decent bands over here as well. I feel like we take a lot of influence from our friends as well. Shout out to Atadara and Overpower as well. They definitely I'd say would influence like the way that I kind of write as well.
I made like a playlist for the record of everything I was listening to throughout the 4 or 5 year writing process. So like there's like old stuff in there, there's new stuff in there. I'm always trying to keep up to date with my friends' bands and what everyone else is putting out, like whether it be in the UK, in the US sort of thing. But yeah, like I've got like a bingo card list at home of like all the New York hardcore bands we played with, and I think I've pretty much done them all, minus like a couple. So they take a big influence on us and our record and my sort of rock style as well.
Yeah, I'd say Leeway is probably a big one as well. In terms of them having that like perfect, yeah, Chromags as well. But for me, Leeway have got like more bounce to them as well. I think in terms of having that like fun element to it. Um, they've got the riffs and it's sick, but they've got that like fun steez to it as well. So
Like
that's a big one for me. Yeah.
You guys mentioned the writing period. How long was that writing period? How long has this record been in the works? And how hard has been that path that
Yeah,
you're
too long.
too long.
I think me and Andy worked it out the other day. I think overall it was like a 4 year writing period. In fact, it might be, yeah. Yeah, I think it was about 4 years. And then there was like a year of, doing the production stuff, sending it out to various people, putting in all the plans together that we've been doing with Unified this last like 6 months. So yeah, it's been a long old process, but I'm kind of hoping that people can hear how long we spent on it and how much time went into it, rather than it just being something that we rushed out in a couple of months just to keep the machine fed, just to keep those monthly listeners on Spotify up. Like it's all bullshit anyway. Like you might as well put all your time into making something sick rather than just writing something for the sake of, yeah, keeping that machine turning.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it anyway.
Is there a specific part of this, because the long process obviously takes a toll on you guys, and you guys, like you said, it's been too long. But now that the album is in the horizon and you start getting into this album release cycle with interviews, videos, singles, all of this, is there a specific part of this process that you're really enjoying, perhaps even more than what you would expect to enjoy?
I'm enjoying.
Uh,
You go on.
no, you go, Josh. It's all good, mate.
I was just going to say, I think the thing I'm enjoying about the cycle the most, I guess, like now that it's kind of, we've signed up with UNFD and like the ball is kind of rolling, it feels like everything's planned, everything's structured, everything feels like, it's actually happening. Whereas before everything was kind of up in the air, like we were taking so long, which is fine. It's okay to be careful and it's okay to, think about quality, not quantity sort of thing. But at the same time, I'm enjoying how like organized and how there's deadlines now. And it's like, right, this needs to be done by this date, otherwise we're going to be in deep water, sort of thing. This whole like interview process, this is a whole new thing for us. I've never had to do something like this for the band or for a record at all. So this is all new territory for me.
Yeah, I think touching on what you said there, Josh. For me, it's like exploring those new new waters, as it were. You know, like having all the new processes. Yeah, yeah. What Josh said basically at the end.
Was this record born of a single vision, or do you feel as you start working on individual tracks, those tracks kind of develop into what the overall record now become? It's almost like the chicken and the egg. Which one came first? The vision, the songs?
I'd say in terms of
song.
like the lyrical context and you know subject matter and stuff like that, I think I didn't well, we didn't have like a goal of like, right, this is the concept for the whole album. It was very much like we're putting it together, and as it went, I then sort of saw the parallels between certain songs. It was like, okay, this it's all relating to, you know, a certain thing as we were doing it rather than at the start.
Hmm. There's definitely been a change up in like writing style as well, where there's been so many, we've been writing this for so long. There's been like a shift in members. We've been writing in different like locations, different spaces, different setups. Sometimes we've been at someone's house on like a studio, like electric kit sort of setup. Sometimes we've been jamming in a room. So like there's definitely been like a shift in like the process itself. If that makes sense.
What do you see as the main key ingredient of the sound of the band? What's going to be that element that's going to define who you guys are, the DNA, and how you're going to be able to move forward? Do you
Me and
have that
Sam,
already?
me, us two. That's it. That's the you're looking at him.
You know what? You know what? I would actually say Sully's voice, more than anything. I think his vocal style is very unique. You know, there's a few bands that do kind of. I'd say we've got a niche sound as it is anyway. But there's a few bands that you know do have that similar sound at the same time. But Sully's vocals really stand us out, I think, for me personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not quite, you know, it's not quite a scream. It's not quite shouty. And it's got a bit of a swagger to it as well. And on certain tracks, like his London accent comes out, which I remember pushing for in the studio because I think again it just sort of sets us out a little bit. It's a bit of a USP. But
Mm.
yeah, that'd be my take on it. Don't know about you,
Yeah,
Josh.
I think we try, or at least like I was saying earlier, I try and keep my ear quite close to the ground and see what like other bands in like our scene and different scenes are kind of doing, and not necessarily try and be different for the sake of it, but try and go, okay, so this is so and so's doing this, and then X is doing this, and Z's doing this. Where can we sort of place on that spectrum sort of thing? So I think we're always trying to like again not be different for the sake of it, but try and find where we sort of stand on that spectrum, and yeah, just try and be as different as possible and try and stand out, I guess.
And you
I
guys
think the other
mentioned.
thing is sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the other thing is we're not just drawing influence from hardcore or thrash. You know, like a lot of, I think all of us, maybe apart from Andy, are like heavily into hip hop. I think there's a big influence, especially on the next single that we're about to release. You know, there's a big influence from that, and yeah, I think that's something that sets us apart as well, personally.
You mentioned the lyrical content in terms of not starting with a theme in mind, but then finding that as you are writing, things were coming together. So when you look at the lyrical content of this record, what stands out to you? What do you think in that lyrical content is going to appeal to the listener?
Um, to be honest, I think the way that we wrote the lyrics was very much like we were relating to him from our personal perspectives, but throughout the whole thing, apart from maybe lessons of the past, we're trying to keep as much of it ambiguous as possible, um, just so that people can relate to it in all different ways. You know, whatever they're going through, they might be able to relate to a certain line that I've written about something else. I think that was we kind of cracked the code on that quite early on in the writing process, luckily. Um, but yeah, in terms of like the actual subject matter, I guess like as a whole, the record and it kind of relates to the title as well. The path to righteousness is like basically the journey that you're on in life to find happiness or pursuing a goal or something like that, and each kind of track relates to something that gets in the way of life, or that path to righteousness, you know, or different things that you'll come across on that path. Basically, going through life. That's where I kind of was coming from.
And it sounds cool.
Yeah, was the lyrical process a team effort, or did the responsibility fall on specific shoulders?
Yeah, I'd say it was definitely a team effort.
It was just
A
you
lot
at
of
the
the time a lot of the time I would come up with either concepts or have something in mind, and then either me and Josh, me and Andy, or me and Sully would go over it. I mean, Sully would always go over it and make sure he was cool with certain parts, or we'd work on it in the studio and stuff like that, just so that it felt personal from him as well. Yeah.
I think at the start it was you and me. Andy kind of tagged in on a few songs, sort of was there to help as and when. And by the end of it, I think it was just you for the most part. I think you did the last 2 or 3 tracks of lyrics. I think.
Okay,
Maybe.
remember? Yeah.
It's been that long.
It's been. I don't even know. Yeah, that's how long it's been.
That long. When you guys are not making music and you guys are not playing GTA, what do you folks do for fun?
I've actually just bought a paddleboard, and that's been a great way for me to switch off. Huh?
Got mine today. Mine's in the post. It's downstairs.
Oh shit! You just got one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Let's hit the river, man.
Yeah,
Let's have a little trip. Let's go. Yeah, that's like a great way for me to switch off. Like, I'm quite lucky where I live. I'm quite close to. I've got the beach about half hour away. I've got a couple rivers and stuff that I can hit. So yeah, it's a nice way for me to unwind, because my job is music as well. I'm a audio producer, so with all that going on, it's very hard for me to switch off a lot of the time, despite obviously enjoying what I do. But yeah, I like to do that. I love football as well. I'm lost a little bit at the moment because that season.
So let me ask you this: 2 questions, because now I'm curious. First, where are you guys from in the UK? And 2, what teams do you guys support, footy wise?
I live in Salisbury, which is like half an hour from Southampton, and I'm a Man City fan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're a Southampton fan.
No, no, all my family are from Manchester, so I was kind of didn't have a choice in that one.
No,
Not
you've been.
that I'm complaining.
And I'm going to ask Josh this question, but have you been? I don't know if he's a Man City fan or not, but have you been a Man City fan for a long time, or you jumped on the bandwagon when the team started to get good?
No, no, that's the thing. So I've been a fan since I was since birth, basically. And I remember in school when we were really shit, I used to get so much shit off people in school that were like Man U fans because they were the best team, right? And now we're the best team. I still get shit off people, but it's like, you're a glory hunter, so I can't win, man. But yeah, I've been a lifelong fan.
What about you, Josh?
I'm from Southampton, but I don't follow football at all. So I'm the least football guy. I think me and Joe our bassist, we're the least football guys in the band.
I think they have to revoke your passport.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we have to check. Are you really from the UK? Because this doesn't seem right to me. How do you not into football at all? This just doesn't seem right.
I mean, I'll play it, but I don't watch it. I just don't. My passport needs renewing anyway, so I need to sort that out today after this. So.
Oh man, I guess if you're going to be a fan of Southampton, maybe it's better not to be a fan of anything at all. So that's maybe not a bad move. That's not a bad move from your part. So last question for you guys. I know you mentioned the dream of touring and coming to the US, but now that this album cycle is here and the album is in the horizon, are you guys starting to already get some stuff booked? Maybe not in North America yet, but in Europe and the UK. What's some of your short-term plans?
Yeah, we've got a couple of things in the works. We're actually looking at doing like a headline tour around the time of the record coming out, but that's all still up in the air, or all still being planned out and stuff like that. But yeah, we're hoping that we jump on some bigger support tours. We've just done Gwar and Cancer Bats over the last couple of months in the UK, which have been amazing shows. I think really like we're kind of looking at getting in front of new crowds, like those tours were. It was a little bit new to us being in front of sort of fans where it might be their first hardcore band that they're seeing, you know. Yeah, it took a little bit of getting used to, but it was definitely worth doing. And it kept us on our toes. So yeah, I think we're going to look at getting on some more sort of shows like that.
We got a skate park next week. We're playing a skate park in Kettering, which is like 2.5 hours away from us, which would be sick. First time playing a skate park, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's 3 days to stick to your guns. They're playing Diamond and Full in August. I think that's London, Manchester, Birmingham, or London, Birmingham, Manchester home. Like I said, hopefully we'll book once the record's out, we'll do like a headline run. But yeah, that's not been sorted yet. And then just play with some mates before the year's out, and then hopefully smash the hell out of it next year. That's the plan, Stan.
Wow. I think you guys have a solid plan ahead, and all the best to you guys. First of all, I want to thank both of you for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, no, thank you, mate. Cheers.
Grove Street in the house. The album comes out September 29th on Unified. The Path to Righteousness. Go check it out. These guys have music out already, so go listen to it. Pre-order the album. Support these dudes. And Sandy is not on the bandwagon. He is a Man City fan through and through. So let's keep that in mind. Every time you see
remember that
at the merch stand, do not give him a hard time. Do not give him a hard time. Do not ask him questions that are inappropriate about the fact that they didn't win anything for a very long time until some money poured in. So let's not get into that.
Yeah, please don't. It'll trigger me. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, guys. You guys were awesome. All the best.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, man. Have a good day.
You too.